Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bunny. I'm back again for a whole new video. Flash is back there chilling, you know, I guess thinking about life. I don't know. Yeah, my bad. I had to restart this video up because for some reason it like rebooted itself. I have no idea what just happened. And I was in the middle of talking too. That's the crazy part. But I was mentioning how just like I've been giving this channel love and I've been recording videos and posting that I've been recording videos for this channel. I need to do that with my gaming channel, and I need to do that. I need to put stuff up on Twitch. I need to stop just being lazy and just doing it. But what I was getting into with what this video was about is that one of the things that I had said, and it was in the midst of when I was dealing with a lot of stuff emotionally. And me and this person, they were asking me what I wanted, and I was asking them what they wanted, and we were going back and forth, which I don't even understand what the purpose of the conversation was now at this point, now that I think back to it, because I didn't understand what was the purpose of asking somebody what they wanted from you and what you wanted from them if you were gonna leave anyway. Cause like that makes no sense. Like that's like me asking you if you want a sandwich, right? And then I go in the kitchen to act like I'm about to go make the sandwich. And then you're sitting and waiting for the sandwich. And then I come back in whatever room you're in, whether it's the living room, bedroom, whatever. And then I go, oh, I changed my mind. I didn't want to make the sandwich anyway. But like that's kind of like with the situation I was in. And pretty much one of the things that I had said was, or something that I wish I had experienced because I hadn't experienced it in so long, was I wish somebody was able to look at me the way Flash looks at me, my dog. And he looks at me with like such loving eyes, like I'm his favorite person in the world, even though sometimes I yell at him and I tell him he does stuff wrong or he shouldn't do certain things or whatever. Um, he he still looks at me with the most like loving look ever. And the person's statement was, well, a person isn't always going to do that. And I'm like, I don't think you understood what I was saying. What I was saying was that the the way a dog looks at their owner is love, security, protection. I'm going to be there for you. Even if, you know, they're mad at you or you're mad at them or whatever, they have that, hey, you know what? You're my person. And I thought that was like common sense. Like I didn't think that was something that had to be explained. And then the person had like decided to like tell my mother, and then my mother was like half listening, and then she didn't even know that like I was on the phone with the person. Wow, she was telling me what they were saying, which I thought was kind of like, why are you calling my mother telling me stuff that I said to you? And like if you didn't understand what I said, a normal logical person would have like been like, "Hey, what do you mean by that?" Not instantly be like, "Oh, that's not possible." It's not possible for you because you don't know what love really is. And I'm not talking about, you might know what love is in the aspect of loving a family member or the I guess the people around you that entertain you, but you don't know what love is of loving an outside person. And granted, don't get me wrong, I fell off the rails a lot when it came to being with somebody and showing my love and being there for a person. I know that. I can admit that because I let my demons take over of stuff that I had to deal with myself, and just things that are like an ongoing thing that I have to deal with on a regular basis. But with that being said, I know what being genuinely in love with someone is. And I know how that feels. And I know the things that you do and how you react. So honestly, all the person had to really say was that not just like that what I had done was things that turned them off from wanting to be with me or deal with me as a person, but just say you really didn't love me. Just keep it real, keep it 100. Just admit that you were shallow about it and that you didn't really love me. So it didn't even matter if I did anything that pissed you off or didn't piss you off. You don't know what loving another person is because you've never actually been in love with anybody that you were with. Because if you were in love with anybody that you were with, you would have understood what I meant when I say I want somebody to look at me the way Flash looks at me. He looks at me like I'm his person. Like, fuck everybody else around me. You know, when she's around, that's all that matters. Because I know she's going to feed me. I know she's going to be there for me. I know she's going to take care of me. I know she's going to make sure I'm good. Whatever I need, she got it. If she don't got it, she going to figure out how to get it. She my rock. She got everything. She going to hold it down. And you know what I'm saying? And I don't got to worry about nothing but eating, going to the bathroom, doing what I'm supposed to do, and then that's it. So, like, I just thought it was like crazy. I mean, I don't know, maybe that was a bad example for that person, but I thought that was like the simplest thing to use as an example because I thought, what's the best example to use? A dog. Most people love dogs. Most people have dogs. Most people are around dogs. So the fact, like, I just find it like genuinely funny. Like the fact that that went over the person's head is actually kind of entertaining. And I just kind of wanted to address that because I never got the opportunity to like address that with that person or have a genuine conversation, like a coherent conversation after everything was like said and done. So, like, I guess this is my way of being able to talk about it without being aggressive about it or without making a scene about it or anything like that. But like, comment down below. Let me know if you understand what I mean by when someone says, I want you to look at me the way my dog looks at me. Like, she she wants security. She wants to know she's protected. She wants to know you're there for her in her good, bad, ugly, and different. She wants to know that you love her, that she's the only person you see, even though there's other people around you. Like, you know, like kind of like not like a movie, but like kind of like a movie. Like, you know, like there's other stuff going on around, but you're not worried about the other stuff going around because you're with your person. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I meant. And I feel like if you got to explain that to somebody, one or two things is going on. Either they don't know what it's like to really love somebody, or they never actually genuinely loved you and they thought they did, and they don't know what love is or how to actually love you, or they didn't want to love you. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple, and people make shit more complicated than what it really need to be, and that's just me keeping it real. Like, shit is simple. It's either you do, you don't. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like, you might not have an answer in that moment. It's like, you know, I was even asked questions like, what do I want for, you know, with this person at the time, which once again, now that I think about it, that whole conversation was stupid because it was like, what the fuck was the point of that conversation if I was going to be in the predicament that I'm in right now anyway? Like, I thought it was stupid because, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, putting somebody on the spot, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I could be like, hey, you know, I want this, this, and this, but it doesn't matter what the fuck I want. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes two to tango. I could be like, hey, I want kids. I want to get married. I want to get a house. Yeah, those are all things I would love to have. But you got to be realistic. If that person doesn't want those things with you, what the fuck is we talking about? And that's my point. That was my point of the whole thing of that was in that moment, like all those other things that like I may have wanted or thought about wanting, that to me that was irrelevant. The only thing I was really thinking about is just genuinely feeling like I was loved. And I feel like for the longest time, not just from just the fact that me not hanging out with that person and making more of an effort to hang out with that person, but I also felt like, why would I want to hang out with somebody that don't want to do nothing with me? Because that was another thing too that kind of made me distance myself from that person, because it wasn't just like listening to what my mother said about driving and putting miles on my car. It was also the fact that like, why would I want to go down to somebody's house, hang out with you, and do the same fucking shit I could do in my house, and but by myself? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even talking about like drinking or anything like that. I'm just talking about like sitting, doing my own thing, sleeping, and we're just doing two separate things, but we're in the same space. Like, why would I want to do that with somebody? Like, that makes no sense. Like, we're not actually doing anything together. And when I got called out on not making that effort, and that was my lack of like support for the situation, I thought that was crazy, because it was like, but like realistically, as a human being, whether you're married or you're not married or whatever the case is, would you really want to be doing that with somebody? I mean, maybe if you were married because you're already going to be living in the same house together, but like, would you really want to be doing that with somebody if you're just dating them? And the crazy part was, before it had got to that point, like, granted, yes, I was acting a certain type of way when I was going over to this person's house, and that was on me. Maybe I should have sat down and had a conversation. But in another token, when I also tried to, when I realized, you know, we were kind of like going through a monotony of like, okay, I go down there, you come pick me up, whatever. Um, I tried to offer to do other things, and the person didn't want to do those things. They just wanted to stay in the house. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'm trying to get us out of this monotony, because when you stay, the one thing I know, whether you're depressed because of the other person or whether you're depressed because of your own demons, the one thing I know for a fact, when you go through depression, you can't stay in the house. It doesn't matter if you're in a good environment, bad environment, ugly environment. It does not matter. You have to allow yourself to get out of the house, and you have to actually get up and do something, even if that means walking to the park and back home. You have to get up out of the house and do something. And I'm not talking about going to work, okay? People go to work every day. I'm not talking about that. That's just regular stuff people got to do because people got to pay bills. I'm talking about just doing something that you normally know you don't do. So if you know you sit in the house and you play video games all day, or whatever the case is, you got to get up and do something. You got to do something different. You got to change it up. You know what I'm saying? You got to like just do something. And it don't even got to be wild and crazy. It don't got to be you sleeping around with a whole bunch of people. Nothing like that. Because the whole point of getting out of depression is not just to jump into something crazy and new and wild that's not healthy for you, because then you're not really healing for yourself. It's getting yourself right for yourself. And when you're in a dark, dark rabbit hole, it's really hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel. But you have to see it for yourself. You have to wake up and do it for yourself. And it doesn't even matter what it is. It could be you getting up and getting a haircut. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's like positive of you doing something for you, it does not matter what it is, just doing something for you. Forget about adding extra people in your world and all that. You know, when you're depressed and you're like in a dark space, you have to like, the main focus for you is you have to think about you and the things that you do have around you that are positive that you need in your life. And once you think of those things, You have to think about how they're conducive for you and how they're going to help you move forward so you could be a better person for you. And then when you get yourself to that point, then you could decide if you want to allow someone to be in your world, whether that's a significant other, whether that's a new friend, whatever the case is. But you have to do things that are going to get you in the right direction. But if you're like half fasting it and you're suppressing whatever emotions you have, you're never going to move on from your depression. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're someone who suffers through depression, you're always going to have moments of depression. Now, how bad it gets, it depends on how you heal yourself and how you move yourself forward as a person. Because you have to think about how you got to where you got to, and which I had to do that with myself. I had to have late nights sitting up in the dark, staring at the wall while Flash was over there asleep, enjoying his bed, like thinking about, okay, how did I get to this point? How did I get to where I got to? Because I had to say to myself, yeah, I got to a dark place. It was very ugly. But it wasn't, I can't say it was all other people's doings, because that wouldn't even be healthy and that wouldn't be taking accountability. But I said, how did I do it for myself? What mindset was I in that I put myself in that ball or that box where I couldn't see a light and I couldn't see happiness and I couldn't see a better place for myself? And once I realized that, I said, you know what? It's going to take time for me to really feel like where I need to be. And I think part of the reason why I let myself get in such a dark depression and why I lashed out and why I acted so crazy with certain things was because I was more mad at myself, because I felt like, would you stop doing that? I was more mad at myself for letting myself get to where I got to, doing of my own doing, and not anyone else's doing, my doing. And I was beating myself up, and I was really hard on myself. And when I realized that, I was like, yeah, I could be hard on myself and I could expect more from myself and I could expect better from myself. But things happen for a reason, and I have to accept where I'm at right now and be okay with it and just do the right things that are going to lead me in the right direction, and hopefully I get to where I want to be. Now, whether that takes me, a year from now, 2 years from now, hopefully not 2 years from now, maybe no longer than a year. But you get my point. Like, I just have to take my time with it and just accept that things happen, and sometimes, you hit a wall, and the wall hit you kind of hard, and it is what it is. But I also know that, when you look at things in a more positive light, more positivity comes your way than when you wake up and you're negative and you're like, oh my God, I'm going through it. Oh my God, life is rough. Because at the end of the day, life is going to be rough. Everybody roughing it right now. Even the people that, quote unquote, I guess are living the best life. Everybody roughing it right now. Everybody got to pay bills. Everybody got to have a job. Everybody got to have money coming in. That's just life, right? Would you stop doing that? I'm sorry. This dog just be doing a lot. It's not my dog. It's Sarah. She just be doing a lot. And she don't know what she be doing. Get away from me, man. And then she be wetting her face. And then she want to shake her head. And she... just be doing... She don't know how to sit still. She like a crackhead with long legs. She don't know how to get comfortable. Like, she's been trying to get comfortable in this bed for like the last like hour since I've been home. But yeah, like I was saying, you know, you just have to allow yourself to get to a better place. And, you know, you just have to realize that, like, things are going to, there's just things that are out of your control. Like paying bills, having a job, making sure you have money coming in. Those are all things, like, having money coming in is in your control, but, like, there's certain things that are in your life that you have to deal with that are essentially out of your control and things that you can't change right now. So, one of the things that I've been doing with myself is realizing the things that I can change right now, right? That I can make a difference right now. And then realizing the difference between the things that have happened in my life or things that are going on in my life that I can't change. You know, like prime example, how the relationship between me and my mother is, that's something I can't change, right? And what I mean by that's something I can't change is I can't change a relationship with somebody if they don't want to make the effort to make the changes for themselves or at least admit where they were wrong. If you can't do that, it doesn't even matter if I make an effort or if I make changes for myself to be a better person to be around you. We're never going to go anywhere. We're going to be stuck in a standstill. We're going to be going back and forth. I'm going to be saying one thing, you're going to be saying another thing. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get nowhere. And that's something that I have to put in a box, lock it up, and keep it moving and be like, okay, this is what it is. But something like keeping my grades up in school and finishing school, those are all things I could do right now. You know what I'm saying? Or keeping my job or moving up in my job. Those are all things I could do right now. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that I could lead myself in that direction. So once you kind of make that list of things that you could change right now for the better and the things that you can't change right now that you have to put in a box, but maybe you can make changes to those things, but you just can't do anything right now. Put those in a box and get to those later. Because then you start shortening your list and then you start realizing, yes, life is stressful, but life isn't as stressful as it needs to be. You're making it more stressful for yourself. And then once you realize that, things get a hell of a lot easier. Things get real simple, real quick. And trust me, it's been working for me. It's the best way to start your day. Whatever you can change right now, like I said, put it in a box, keep it moving. And that's the best advice I can give you. See how it works out for you, right? I mean, if you want, if it makes it easier for you, write a list of things that you feel like you could do right now that you can make changes, whether it's losing weight, whatever it is. Think of things that you could actually do right now if you made an effort to do them. And think about things that you want to make changes to, but you can't do right now. And look at that list and see how long that list is. You see how that list kind of gets cut in half. And it's not as bad and it's not as stressful. Yes, you're still going to have stress because you're still going to have to deal with things, but it's not as bad. And you make life easier for yourself and you're not as hard on yourself because you're not expecting yourself to do all these things. So, with that being said, this is where I'm going to end the video. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Reach out to me on my social media. Reach out to Flash's social media. Let me know if you want me to do more videos like this or if you want me to do something different. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.